Well, I am excited about this lesson because I love the cross hatching. I love stippling. I love everything that we've been doing so far. This is week 2. So now we're going to do the contour drawing ourselves. And we went over the artist and we called her Kat Gogol. Katarzyna is her name, but we can call her Kat. So we talked about the artwork. We went over the vocab. I did want you to notice that the connecting vocab is value because we've done light to dark. And then now we're just adding those hatching, cross hatching, and stippling. We have a few other ways to draw, and that's in the packet. Got to make sure we're going to go over the check for understandings. We're going to hit that. Make sure your exit ticket is done. And we went over the history of the artist. That was during the motivation. If you ever need this, it's in Spanish. If you ever need it on the other side. So I'm going to flip to the hatching and cross hatching practice. Now, in the last assignment, we didn't go over that. We went over this, but we didn't finish it because I wanted to do the different ways of art, the different marks. So now I'm looking at this, and the copier, of course, didn't copy it that nicely. So I'm just showing you where the things are. So if you want to make your own boxes, that's okay. Otherwise, you're just going to practice. So the hatching is right here, the straight lines. You're going to draw that here. So we just do that hatching. And then you're going to do cross hatching. Cross hatching is when they intersect, the lines intersect. So you're going to do that. So I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to do this. It doesn't take that long. I'll come around. I'll be helping people. So this is lightest. Horrible writing. I type everything. And then this is light. This is medium and dark. Okay. So just so you know, you're going to do the light lines and then you're going to make them a little bit darker to be just light. And then you're going to do medium, which is even darker. It doesn't have to be pretty. I just want you to practice. So go on ahead and practice. All right, and we're back. Now, we did this yesterday, so I'm just putting it in here for reference. But these are the different lines that we used, and we did this yesterday. Again, you don't have to redo it, but I want you to be able to understand what hatching is, cross-hatching, stippling. Blending, we are not using blending. We are using hatching and cross-hatching, stippling, and you can also use scrumpling. So we can use this. So any of these lines, okay? And this is just a reference or what I want in your drawing. Now, I want you to make sure that you understand and you go over these yourself. We've already gone over them in the last lesson, but these are 10 questions for critiques. Just things to ask yourself about if you have done these things in your art, okay? And we're not really going for a mood. So number 6 really isn't one of them. Now, our in-progress peer review, we are going to do this right after you get done the dragon, and we might have time for another drawing. If so, that drawing, the dragon is the one I want you to do the peer review. So you would ask your peer these questions. One person would do the other person's review. Okay, so that's how we're going to do a lot of group activity that way. All right, so let's get to it. All right, so we're going to get started. We're going to draw our dragon. It's not that hard. You just have to follow what I'm doing, just like we've done in other contour drawings. So we're going to go down about this much, and right in the middle, you're going to make a dot. Right over here, about an inch over. And then you're going to make a dot about 2 inches, 1, 2, 1 inch up, like this. I'm going to make sure everybody's like with us and we're good. All right, let's go. And now we're going to do a curve for his nose. So just like that, curve for his nose. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I just need it to look similar to my dragon. If it's different size, we'll work on that. I'll come around and look. Doesn't have to be perfect. And now the next one is we're going to take and make one curve up. And then another curve. This is his nose area. and another curve. So 3 curves. Everybody okay? Now we're going to create his jawline, and we're going to use a diagonal line so we're using contour and a diagonal line. So we're moving up, and just copy what mine looks like, similar to mine, doesn't have to be perfect. And we're moving forward. Now we're going to go to the top of this line, and we're going to make 3 darting areas. So, and I'll have it up on the board for you to look the finished product, so you'll see that. So you'll know what you're doing. 1, so it's a point, another point, and 1 more point. I don't want to go too fast, so make those 3 points. All right. We're going to make a point down here. And then next to that, we're going to make another point. 1 more. All right. Now we're going to make a curved line that connects them. So curve, curve. Give me a thumbs up. So first table has 3 points, second table has 2, and the third table has 1. And if we have ties, then everybody gets those 3 points, 2 points, or 1 point. All right, and we're back. Now we're going to connect this to a point from right here. So the point's going to be right down here, the ending point, and we're going to do a curved line down like that. And then we're going to have another curved line that meets that like this. So we have 1 point there. It's starting to look like a lizard, which is good because it's a dragon. Okay, so we're going to make the body so you kind of know where his body is. So I'm going to go up just a tad bit and then come down. I'm going to go to the end, almost to the end of these scales, and I'm going to make a point. And almost like a lightning bolt going down, like so. I'm going to check for understanding. Get those points. All right, and we're back. We're going to make 1 more line where his belly would be. And we are going to now make the mouth and the teeth. Now I'm just going to overlap mine so it's not too hard for you, and then I'll just cross hatch over what I want. So I am going to make a jaw. So I'm going to go like this and connect it. Now I'm going to create the nose. So I'm just going to make a pointed line, mostly points here, and then a larger point up here. Checking for understanding, and we're back. All right, so we're going to make the teeth right here. So we're going to have a point going this way. So we're mostly making these same curved points. So we're going to make 3 of them. Yours can look how you want them to look. So at this point, get it, point, haha. I know, bad jokes. At this point, you can make the eye look different if you want. I want you to have some independent thought on these drawings. You can't look up things and then draw from a computer at this point. So I'm drawing this, and to get you to do independent work, I am letting you choose how you want to do it. So if you have an idea of your dragon eye, go right ahead. But if you're finding it difficult and you want to follow me, then that's fine. If you want to add more teeth at this point, that's fine. These are all things that you should be doing independently. So if not, you're just going to follow what I'm doing. So I'm going to make a curved line going this way. All right. And then I'm going to take another curved line, and I'm going to go out. It almost looks like a fish. So we'll have this for the eye. I'm going to meet the top with the bottom. So I have that line. So now I have the actual eye shape. And then lizards usually have those thin little pupils. So I am going to make a thin pupil inside like so. And now I'm just going to do one more line for the eyelid. So at this point, you have your dragon. What we're going to work now is we're pulling everything all together. So on the board, you see that I have art terms from last week. We are using contour line, we're using monochromatic color, and we're using shading, but we're using shading with what type of lines have we been using. I'm giving 3 points to the row that knows that. And we're back. Yes, we are using hatching lines and cross hatching. Awesome. So let's use them now. So the back, I'm going to ask that you make black and use the Sharpie, the black Sharpie. So you would start out by using hatching lines and you're going to fill that area. You're not going to go over the dragon. You're just going to go in the back. So this time I'm giving you a little more direction on what colors I want to use. I want to see if you can follow directions. You can always make it your own, and how you're doing that is you're creating your own hatching. Like your hatching lines can be larger or smaller. That's your independent thought right there, and how you're working independently. Choosing your own lines. So your lines can be large, long, short, straight. So you can see I'm doing that background like so. So I would like you working on that background now. And then you're going to cross hatch it. And I'm not going to do the complete thing because one, I don't want yours to look exactly like mine. And two, I want you to be able to work independently. So I just showed you an example and you can see the finished product on the board. All right, so I'm going to move on and you can go back to that and work on that. I'm going to use silver for my actual dragon. And this is, I bought this paper because it doesn't actually collect all the ink. So you can still see the silver here. So I'm going to cross hatch over top of my dragon, all silver. I'm going to make sure I use a marker that has been sitting downward because then the ink is down. And this is also going to be hatching and cross hatching. So you can start shading as you wish. Now the eye, if you want to fill that in all silver, just use a lot of line like so. And then the teeth, I might do them mostly silver, use a lot of line for that. That might just be hatching lines and not cross hatching. So at this point, you need the whole thing filled in with silver and black. You need to have your name either down here or up here, your choice. I'm putting Miss Trout's here. And then the time of your class, I'm putting 10 for my first class, but classes would be 10 o'clock, 1:39, and no, 10 o'clock, 12:12, and 1:39, yeah. So I'm going to keep on going. If you need to keep watching me, you keep watching me, but this is really an independent thing at this time. You can add anything you want to add with your dragon. So we should have another, this really would take all class to fill in. If we get to the Jaguar, we do. I'm going to do a check in 30 minutes and see how we're doing. All right, so go ahead. All right, so I finished the dragon. As you can see, it's cross-hatched like everywhere. So this is a finished piece. That's the way it should look. And then I used some black to highlight. So when I'm looking at it, I might highlight the nose again, just so you can see it, the eye. I can use a little contour line with that because I'm adding line from, and I'm using line from a past lesson. But everything is cross-hatched in the back. I have the silver, and then I actually went in and I shaded it with black cross-hatching again. So now if we're done with that, you have another sheet of paper, and we are just going to draw the Jaguar. Real simple. So we're going to start with the head, just the top of the head like so. And everything has symmetry here. So that's just the top of the head, not perfect. I didn't draw perfect. And then I would have the ear. So it would just be an ear like that. And then another ear on the other side. And then I'm going to go down and just draw the cheek like so. And then I'm going to draw the other side like that too. And then just meet down at the end. It's not perfect. That's about it. So now I'm going to draw where the eyes would be. And then I would draw another one on the other side. Not looking for perfection. So I'm gonna check for understanding. Now we have the nose. It's down here and it's just a triangle. Rounded triangle. Then we're gonna do a line down with an up line. Line down with an up line. Checking for understanding, seeing if everybody's okay. Give me a thumbs up, and we're back. So now we would draw those whiskers to make sure we know where they are. We would have some leopard spots like we did yesterday. You can look up at the board too. So just draw those leopard spots. So this would be stippling, and we're gonna use the stippling like we did yesterday, but this time you can use silver and black. The other thing I'm gonna do, which I forgot to do, is just make it the ears like so, like yesterday. So it's not the best leopard, but it's good enough to design and stipple. And my one eye is way smaller than my other one, so I just did that. So I would be taking these areas and just darkening them wherever I want, and also doing spots. This time we don't have a template. We're actually doing the contour drawing and the stippling. So yesterday we had a lot of ones where they actually just designed the forehead. So I would just stipple like that. And then I can switch to my silver too. So here's silver, like maybe my eyes. Now you want to use silver before, not on top of black. You want to use silver before you use black. That way your silver doesn't dull down. And this is going to look cool because it has different like silver highlights in it, which is super cool. I love it. And then I would do dark areas here, dark areas there. But I don't want to make any decisions for you, so I want you to be able to do it yourself. So I want you to work independently right now. And then the only time you're going to be working with someone else is if you're doing the peer review. So that should have been before this drawing. So right now, work independently. You can talk at a 0.5. That's about it, like a whisper. So I'll be coming around to check that everybody's okay. And that's it.